are.
I'm at.
We're live.
All right, so guys, we are officially live, and Polston has given the opportunity for the sexiest man alive in the universe to host the TLC Preview. All right, so we got a board panel of 5 guests, and we're going to go ahead and start from left to right. So we're going to go ahead and introduce the first man furthest to the left.
All right, I guess that would be me, you magnificent sons of bitches, the prodigal champ. My channel, of course, so y'all motherfuckers already know me. We'll go ahead and go on down to the other side of Steven over here. I think that would be you, Robbie.
Robbie's next.
Okay. Hey everybody, it's Robbie Battle. Most of you guys already know me. I've been around for a little while. Just check out my videos. I'm going to start filling my channel back up. So just hit the subscribe button.
All right, then we got John.
Notorious SAM.
Yeah, man. It's your boy, Notorious SAM, a.k.a. Sam Cavelli, a.k.a. KRAZ. What's up, man? My YouTube channel is Sam Notorious SAM, like Notorious B.I.G. But it's my first initial, so yeah.
Then we got Brandon.
Yeah, what's up, guys? I'm Brandon Lawton, a.k.a. Brand the Law. This is my first sit-in with these group of guys, so yeah, hopefully I meld well, and check me out on YouTube at Brand the Law.
Best 19, here we go. Best 19, here we go.
And
All right.
a link will be provided as soon as the video is uploaded. I'll go ahead and get everybody's links that's on this panel. So if you like what you hear from any of these guys, just go ahead, click those links on the bottom, go ahead and sub to these guys, and do the shit that YouTube tells us to do to get over. Yeah, go ahead and take it on.
All right. Now, before I start off with announcing the matches, I just want to make 2 things clear to people who are watching this, or people in the future that will be watching this video after it's uploaded. Number 1, I'm not going in chronological order from the kickoff to the main event. I'll keep the Roman Reigns Sheamus match at the end, of course, but every other match may come. I may call it first to preview it, but it may not come onto the show till the 3rd or 4th match. I don't know, because I don't know how they're going to do the match types. It doesn't even announce it on the website. I'm just going by the website. Number 2, to avoid any discrepancies on the during our live hangout, because sometimes, you know, you may hear echoes, or you may hear this, you may hear that. When we have somebody talk, we'll try to have almost everybody mute themselves, and so that way that one person can speak clearly into the microphone without the discrepancies. We'll try to minimize it as much as possible. So, just wanted to get that out of the way. All right, so you guys are ready to kick this off? Okay,
Yeah.
Thumbs up. All right, we're ready to go. Okay, so guys,
Yeah,
we're gonna kick this off. I felt like this was probably the worst match on the match card, and I don't mean to sound gender biased, but it is what it is. You got Charlotte versus Paige. Now, according to WWE's little match card thing, it says Charlotte and Paige will eck another chapter in their ever-evolving rivalry. They again clash with the Divas Championship on the line this Sunday. Do you guys have any thoughts of this match? I wanted to ask you guys before you lay your thoughts into this match. Number 1, what importance does this match have? Number 2, is the feud any exciting at all? What do you think of the feud? And number 3, what are you learning from this feud? Is there anything you're learning from this? And number 4, your winner and expectation. We'll go ahead and start with Polston first.
Well, at least this feud is a little bit. It's went on a little bit longer than most feuds do. The Paige, I don't even really know whenever, because I really don't watch the product that much. But there has at least been somewhat of a build-up to this feud. It's kind of ticky-tacky in my opinion. Whether it was build-up, it's drama. It's like Jersey Shore type shit that they do with the booking style now. And it's mashed in with like some soap opera type stuff. It just doesn't. There's no that moment where it's like, oh wow, these women out here really have an animosity towards each other, like there was with like say Trish Stratus or Lita. They were just polar opposites and whatnot. And I don't get that feel with the Charlotte. It's, you know, Charlotte just came on, and she's already the champion. These there yet again, it's kind of like some of these other championships. You know, there wasn't really build to them, and neither one of these girls, whether it be Paige or Charlotte, really generally are over from what I'm used to seeing from the Divas division with Chyna. Chyna was over as hell whenever she won the championship. Trish Stratus. These women were just more than you know, any kind of eye candy to some people in the ring. They were a lot more than that. They were actually champions, and I just don't get that, because since I guess we're not introduced and we don't really know a lot of these female wrestlers, it's going to be kind of hard because they haven't built anybody up, and that's just not only for the female side. That's for the guys' side too. They haven't properly built any champions up. So this is one of those matches where you're not going to get a lot of interest in it. This is just going to be another Divas match, and it just depends on how it's done to see how it turns out. I just don't see anything exciting in the WWE at all, especially in their Divas division. Okay, yeah. What are we learning? I meant, like I said, there really isn't anything to learn. I mean, it's wrestling. I don't understand what you would learn from this. It's just pretty much the tradition, I guess, maybe to a little bit. There's not really a lot that you're going to get out of this, but other than this just being Ric Flair's daughter and the tradition. Oh, okay, yeah. Who wins? I'll go ahead and take Charlotte to go ahead and win this one right here. I think that Charlotte will retain the title at least going into WrestleMania. So.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so we'll go with Robbie Battle. Robbie, when you answer the question, who wins your match? Who wins this match? Number one, is there anything about this feud that you like? And then number two, also, what is there to learn from this feud? I mean, is there anything from this feud that we can take and just say, you know, this is cool because...
Okay, well, I'll start off with that last question first. As far as learning anything, I don't really think that it's been built that well, to be honest. I mean, as far as the match, it has the capability of being a really good match. Both women are from, you know, big wrestling, you know, tradition families. You know, Charlotte being Flair's daughter, and Paige, she has, you know, a big family over there in the UK or whatnot. So both of them, you know, like I say, they got wrestling in their blood. So there's no excuse why the match shouldn't be, you know, a good match. But it's like Paulson says, you know, a lot of the stuff isn't booked well. If it was booked well, I mean, I think this would be a really awesome. It would probably have a lot of interest in it. I do feel like that Charlotte's going to win because of some of the heat that kind of went on with Flair. I feel like Triple H will make sure that Charlotte gets the big victory with them using Reed's death and that one storyline or whatnot. So I feel like, yeah, Charlotte will get the victory. There's nothing really much to learn from it. This should be an okay match. I don't think it will be a bad match. It will be a decent match.
So you got Charlotte to win.
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right, so John, educate us, man. How does this match end? Does it end with like a heel finish, or does it end with like a clean finish, or does Ric Flair interfere? I mean, what's going to happen in this match?
Probably a clean one. But I have to agree with everybody, though. I think Charlotte's going to win for the simple fact she's Ric Flair's daughter, so of course she's going to win. You know. But other than that, I really don't give a shit about this match.
At all? All right, we'll go ahead and go to what's the next guy's name? Brandon?
Yeah, Brand the Law.
Brandon Law.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, this is really one of those, it's about as good as you're going to get as it relates to the Divas division right now. I mean, you got to think these two, like I think Robbie had mentioned it, both of them coming from a legitimate wrestling family, the two that they have in here, in my opinion, is a whole lot better than watching another Bella title defense. So it's probably as good as we're going to get right now, unfortunately. It's probably the most hype, if you consider all the hurt feelings and whatnot with the whole Reed Flair storyline. So honestly, it's to me, it's one of the more, I guess for lack of a better term, I'm more into seeing this than I've been into seeing some of the previous Divas matches that have been put on pay-per-view, if they're even still called that anymore. But I would also have to go with Charlotte on this one.
What about you, Barristown? You want to weigh in on this? Add your two thoughts on it?
I think her bookend, I think it's going to be Charlotte Flair.
You got Charlotte Flair. So we can all agree that Charlotte Flair, you know, I just want to say, closing out, there's not really much we can add to this. So I don't want to bore the viewers anymore. Let's put it like this. Charlotte's going to win this match.
I do got a question, though. I do got a question, and I haven't heard Brandon's take on this right here, and I'll get your take on it as well. Because, you know, we're talking about the Divas division, and we're talking about the WWE in general, and we're talking about ratings, right? What would y'all think about a Charlotte Flair versus a Lacey Von Erich if WWE could bring in Lacey Von Erich and have a Von Erich, since WrestleMania's in Dallas? It's in that's Dallas legacy right there. You know what I'm saying? Von Erich versus Flair for the fucking title back in the 80s. Why not do it with the daughters in 2015 at Cowboy Stadium? What would y'all think about that? And I'm just going to go ahead and leave that for the board right there. But
I think it's going to be good. Lacey Von Erich's pretty good wrestler. I saw her wrestle. It's just TNA.
Why don't they just do this? Why don't they just have a Divas Battle Royal? Oh, I'm sorry.
That'd be good, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Robbie. Yeah.
I didn't know how we were gonna do the. You said you're putting that on the board, but I fully agree with you, man, Paulson, as far as maybe if they should bring Lacey and they need to go ahead and get her in, get her ready. I feel like that would be an awesome idea. Put her and Flair at WrestleMania. I mean, like you're saying, Texas, that would really probably load that stadium up. There's a lot of things they could do for WrestleMania to get a sellout crowd that I don't think they're going to do, unfortunately. But I agree, man. It wouldn't hurt.
Steven, did you want to go ahead and...
What? I think they should add some more prestige to the women's Divas title, because if you look at like how they treat the WWE Championship, they have all these different types of like gimmicky matches, like the Money in the Bank, the Royal Rumble, King of the Ring. I mean, that might not pertain to the title, but you know, they added like more gimmicky types of stipulation type of matches to like give prestige to the belt. Why don't they do that for the Divas title? Instead of just saying you fight you and then you fight you this next month and then you fight you and then you fight you. Like, it's just a game of hot potato. Why don't you just say, okay, for the Royal Rumble, what we're going to do this year is have a Divas Battle Royal, not the Royal Rumble-like thing. All of them are going to be in the ring. Rather 10 Divas or 12, and whoever's the winner will face the heavyweight champion at WrestleMania. Like, why can't they just do something like that?
I think they did something similar to that, but the bad thing is they kind of screwed it up. I think at one point they were square dancing in the middle of the ring and whatnot. They usually end up screwing up the Divas division. Not like they don't screw everything else up on the card, but yeah, I think that they have tried that route, and I think that they end up screwing it up.
But I mean, even if they screw it up, I would rather them do that and have an actual #1 contender than to just say, okay, we're just going to randomly plug you in a match, just throughout the whole year. You're just going to be randomly put in that. That's basically what the Divas division is. We're just going to randomly plug you in.
What do you think, Brand the Law? What do you think about a Lacey Von Erich, Charlotte Flair, kind of like a dream match at Cowboy Stadium for WrestleMania?
I mean, it'd be great, but unfortunately, after certain instances within WWE, I don't see them bringing in a Von Erich for obvious reasons. These are the people who are trying to stay as far away from anybody who is a risk, if you get what I'm saying, to make the WWE look bad in any shape, way, form, or fashion. That's the same reason that you don't see Kurt in WWE. It's the same reason you don't see a lot of guys in WWE. And I think that given the Von Erich's history and what could happen, what could be a case of a family mental illness, I don't think they'll do it. It'd be great, don't get me wrong, but I don't see it happening.
For the merch, for the purposes of not getting into the logistics of the stuff, because we know that a lot of the stuff is kind of political BS, I think, pretty much. But we'll say just for this purposes of seeing a Flair versus another Von Erich, what would you think about that? Just for the match purposes.
Well, like I said, I think it would be I think first off, it'd be a good match. Second off, I do think that it would be something that people would want to see. But you have to take into consideration, just as was mentioned earlier in this hangout, that would once again be bringing in a person that maybe the worldwide audience isn't completely familiar with. We were just talking about how, these, quote, divas get brought up to the main roster and they slap the divas title on them so quickly. Is there enough time to bring in a Lacey Von Erich between now and WrestleMania and get people to care, other than just where they are in Texas? On a wide scale.
Lacey, she is familiar to the TNA crowd. So she's going to have that familiarity being with Velvet Sky and Angelina Love, I think. But yeah, I do agree with you. They would have to bring her in now to familiarize her with the dwindling fan base that WWE has right now. What about you, Sam? Are you there, Sam? Are you watching porn, Sam?
Nah, man, nah. I'm here, man. I'm just in the little park right now, so looking at the scenery. So what's going on, man?
So what do you think about a Lacey Von Erich, Charlotte Flair match, Flair Von Erich match for WrestleMania? What do you think?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I have no idea who the other lady is, but I know who Charlotte is. So I don't know who that. I don't really know who that is. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I really don't watch the product that much. So if whoever's new and I don't know about them, so I really don't know who that she is. But if she's a good wrestler, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a good match, I guess. But
you know what they could do?
Really?
They could build up the divas in other matches that doesn't pertain to the title. Like you could have the main divas title where there's like 3 or 4 girls beefing, and then the others are just doing like other feuds that don't pertain to the title.
How about we just get rid of the Butterfly Divas title and just bring back the women's title? And have a legitimate title instead of having a toy that they fight for. They're fighting for toys.
Sounds good for me.
But yeah, we can go on. I just wanted to ask that question across the board because I know that the Divas division's pretty much, had it.
Pretty much ain't worth the paper it's written on, unfortunately. Well, we'll go ahead and go to the next matchup. And even though this is the next matchup on the card, I'm gonna call this one first. Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger for the United States Championship in a steel chairs match. Jack Swagger challenges the United States Champion in a match where steel chairs will be perfectly legal instruments of destruction. Hence, cheap shots to the back, not to the head like Edge and Christian did with the Concerto, but to the back. So what do you guys think of this match? Does this match hold any importance to it? And I'm going to go ahead and call from the other side. Instead of starting with political champ, we're going to start with Bearstown this time. Bearstown, who wins this match? Alberto Del Rio or Jack Swagger? Does this match hold any importance? Do you care about this match at all, other than it being for the U.S. title? I mean, what are your thoughts?
That's stupid. What the fuck was that? Chairs match. I think the real. Because remember, Johnson has to have his rematch clause. That's it. The real guys.
So Del Rio's waiting to be buried for the 15th time.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're keeping him in. They brought him back to bury him again. All right, so Brandon, spill some image on this. Do you like anything about this feud, this Jack Swagger Del Rio feud? Are you looking forward to the match? I mean, what are your thoughts? Who's going to win?
I I had very little interest in this match at WrestleMania a few years ago when it was for the world title. So now with Del Rio back, I think it's fairly obvious, at least it should be, that Del Rio's going over. I mean, I don't think they're going to bring Del Rio back with a surprise win over Cena just to have him go under to Swagger, who hasn't been doing shit in months. Am I excited about it? No, not really. I don't even see the need for this to be a chairs match. There hasn't been a feud between these two worthy of giving it anything like that. I think essentially what they're doing here is recycling. I like a lot of what I see on WWE, but I'll be the first to call out bullshit when I see it, and this match has no purpose on a pay-per-view, and I'm not really looking forward to it.
But you do got Del Rio to win.
Yes, Del Rio for the win.
Okay. We'll go ahead and go with John next. John, who do you got to win? Does this match hold any importance to you? Could you care about this match? Do you care less about it? What are your thoughts? Who wins?
I take Alberto Del Rio. Obviously, he's gonna win Jack Swagger, but you know WWE is pretty stupid, so maybe Jack Swagger will pop a win. But I'm taking Del Rio to be safe. I think Del Rio's gonna win. Like somebody pointed out, why would they bring Del Rio back? You know, just to bury him. You know, obviously, Jack Swagger ain't going over no fucking Del Rio. You know, so they're in their makeup honeymoon relationship now. The makeup sex is going on with WWE and Del Rio, so I doubt they're gonna do some shit like make him lose a fucking Swagger. So I'll take Alberto Del Rio to win the match.
All right, sounds good. All right, so Robbie, I'm gonna throw this at you. Before you tell us who's gonna win the match, number one, do you even care about this feud, if there even was a feud? And number two, isn't it fair to say that Jack Swagger was even half relevant? Wasn't for Zed Coulter. I mean, shouldn't they just give him Zed Coulter back? I mean, he was at least halfway decent with Zed Coulter. Now it's like Zed's not there, and it's like, who is Jack Swagger now? I don't know. I just want to get that out there.
Yeah, this is a case of a good wrestler and having a good relationship, or having a good manager, man. I felt like Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter worked pretty good together. I would have been interested in this feud if there wasn't so much time that lapse between Zeb Coulter, not being really that active, or Del Rio having his unfortunate, incident that happened there a while back with the WWE. So I don't really care about it, which is kind of unfortunate because both guys are they're hell of athletes. They're very good wrestlers. But it's like Brandon says, I mean, there's been too much time that's elapsed, and they haven't done nothing with Swagger. Swagger's a good wrestler, man. Both of these guys are excellent wrestlers. The match will be decent probably, but it's going to be like everything else. Nobody's really going to care. It's going to be a case where we're going to have a good match, but nobody's going to care about it. So that's kind of what I see. But I agree with you. The Zach Swagger or Jack Swagger should be with Zeb Coulter or Dutch Mantel. That was a perfect combination, I think.
So you do got Del Rio in this match?
Yes, I think they're going to have to book him over.
Paulson, what are your thoughts? Do you think Zeb Coulter should have went with Jack Swagger? I mean, does his character even intrigue you at all? I mean, to me, it just feels like this guy should have been fired already. Why is he not fired? He doesn't have a manager. He can't talk on the mic. So what is this? What is the purpose of this match? Like, what if I'm somebody looking at this match, and I was to think from a third-party perspective, these guys are fighting because of, like, fill in the blanks for me here.
Well, there's a possibility that Zeb Coulter can turn on Alberto Del Rio anyways, being how they had an incident on Monday Night Raw, from what I'm up to understand about it, listening to certain reviews and whatnot. So I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't put him back with Jack Swagger, because Jack Swagger is not going to get any interest on the mic, definitely not. But to me, I have to agree with everybody else. This should be a pretty good match, because both of the guys can work. We know that Alberto Del Rio is a pretty good ring technician, and we know that as far as legitimacy in wrestling, Swagger is as legit as it can come in the ring, the match should be pretty decent. I think it should be pretty entertaining as far as in-ring work, but there's really not really much of a build to this match to get you interested. Now, we know that Alberto Del Rio is a part of this League of Nations stuff that they're trying to build, and they're trying to work out there as a heel stable, and they really need to push these heels, I think, to look strong and imposing. So Alberto Del Rio is going to have to get the win, regardless if it's unclean or not, which, would be a good way to protect Swagger. If you plan on doing something later on with Swagger, maybe even if, there's a possibility that Zeb Coulter could get involved or whatnot, and maybe Swagger does come up with the victory. But I think that at the end of the day, there's no consistency in WWE, and this is the problem. They don't keep a consistent storylines, and this for this League of Nations to collapse so quick, it's not going to help you. I know that a lot of people don't like Sheamus with the title. They think it's boring. They need yada 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 yada. But if they're going to build a heel stable, and they want to really do a legitimate heel stable, you're going to get the critics. You're going to get people coming out saying, "Oh wow, this sucks, and we hate this guy," and blah 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 blah. I just don't see why they would try to make this heel stable look weak at this point, just because the fans right now, the fans are bipolar anyways. Half the fans are bipolar. So it doesn't matter. They don't want Roman with the title unless Roman doesn't get the title. Now they want Roman with the title, and now they don't like Roman at all. And that's just basically the fan base right now. So you got to build something. You're going to have to fight, fuck, or get the hell off the fence. Either way. So I don't see Alberto Del Rio losing this. Logically, I think that they need to go ahead, put Alberto over, go ahead and make this stable look strong, regardless whether Swagger is the better in-ring wrestler. You've already committed to this. Let's go ahead and go all the way and see what we can do with it until maybe WrestleMania or whatnot. Because you're going to constantly, if you keep being so inconsistent and not building up any of these and developing these characters, you're always going to lose ratings. That's what's going to happen. You've got to stay firm and stay committed to this direction that you're going right now to get interest for WrestleMania, because that's, at the end of the day, that's where you want your interest at, is in WrestleMania.
All right, well, Alberto Del Rio is going to win. No secret about it. This match, the feud, not really nothing intriguing about it. What match importance does this have? Zero importance to me. What do I have learned from this feud? Absolutely nothing. And what will this feud lead into the future? Absolutely nothing. And the winner of the match is Alberto Del Rio. Closing out. So we'll go ahead and get to the next matchup. It's the Dudleys, Dreamer, and Rhino versus the Wyatt family. The Wyatt family faces a quartet of the ECW originals in a tables match. Okay, so TLC, I get it. Now they've officially have a tables match at WWE TLC, so I guess this is the match. So we got Dudley's, Dreamer, and Rhino versus the Wyatt family. So I guess it's kind of like ECW versus WWE Extreme. I guess that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of random. I'm going to go ahead and get Robbie Battle's weighing on this first. I'm throwing random names here. So Robbie Battle, educate me on what the importance of this feud is, because it seems like this match actually has a little bit more of importance of a possible longevity of a feud versus the last matches we just announced. I seem a little bit interested in this. If they can make a feud out of this, it could be pretty cool, my opinion, but I want to get yours in. What does this match have any importance to you, and are we going to learn anything from this feud, and who do you got to win the match?
We're going to learn how much faith they have in the Wyatts, I think. I think they're going to have to put the Wyatts over these guys. It's going to be an awesome match. I feel like it should be a decent match. And I think, like you're saying, you can book it WWE guys versus ECW, even though ECW's been out of business for quite a while, but it's going to be entertaining. Like I say, the Wyatts, they desperately need to start booking these guys to win matches. I mean, you can't have such good competitors losing all the time. I mean, it's a little ridiculous with Bray and them. But yeah, I do see the Wyatts getting the victory. I think it'll be entertaining. But I don't think I think that these guys, when they bring these ECW or some of these older guys, it's basically to put over these newer guys. So I think they're definitely going to lose this match. They're going to put over the Wyatts.
Guess you got Watchman. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and throw out the next random name. Brandon, your turn. Does this match hold any importance? Do you like the feud, and who do you got to win?
I think it holds somewhat of an importance. There are those, and don't get me wrong, I was a huge fan of ECW back when it was legitimately in existence. However, I think the time has come, and I said this when I think TNA did their last ECW deal. The time's come to probably let it die. I think a lot of what people have an issue with WWE is they're not utilizing new stars quite the way they should. And yeah, it's fine to bring back a name from the past, but when you do that, I think it's already been mentioned on here, the primary objective needs to be to put the young talent over. With that, we saw the Brothers of Destruction beat two of the Wyatts at I think it was the last, what they do, Survivor Series last month. So the Wyatts pretty much get trampled every time there's a big match. It's a little, it's kind of shitty. I'm just going to be honest with you because I see a lot of potential in this group, especially in the Bray Wyatt character. And so I have to go Wyatts, and I have to say, can we please let ECW die already?
All right, I'm going to go ahead and call the next name out. John, man, educate us on this. I'm going to ask you this. Number one, is there anything you want to add to this that they haven't already said? Number two, did they bring this ECW thing back to kind of put the Wyatt family over, or is it just a case of, like Brandon said, where the previous month the Brothers of Destruction came back and pretty much buried the Wyatt family? Where do you kind of see this going with this?
Well, as far as that go, I think it's just a way for them to try to get their shitty ass ratings back. So I think the whole ECW thing is really a way to try to, I guess, get some ECW old school fans to watch the show or something. So, but honestly, I'm gonna have to go against what everybody else said so far. The reason why, because every time Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family are in any type of big feud, that's like the feud with the Undertaker, you know, the Elder Taker, as I call them, and Kane. The Elder Taker and Kane, like, you know, they lost to the Undertaker and Kane. I mean, I personally think Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family should have been put over in that match. So this is why I'm thinking, and I hate to say this, I'm thinking the ECW. I'm taking the ECW Originals to win. I think the ECW Originals is going to win because Bray Wyatt, for whatever reason, every time he's in some type of big feud or a big match, he pretty much loses, a big feud. So this is pretty much like a big, I guess, if you can call it that. I don't know. I don't watch it, but I watch the clips on YouTube though. But I guess you can call this a big feud. So I'm taking Wyatt and them to lose, man. I think every time he get in a match like this, of this caliber, he always fucking loses. But he always looks good, you know what I'm saying? He always, looks good in the ring. He always looks strong a little bit. But ultimately, he loses. So I'm gonna go with the ECW Originals to beat the Wyatt families.
All right, so we'll go ahead and go with
oh yeah. All right, I'm done.
All right, we'll go ahead and go with Bearstown. Bearstown. Was ECW Originals brought back to continue, I guess, this burial of the Wyatt family, or are they brought back for the Wyatt family to beat them, or were they brought back for another purpose? And who do you got to win this match?
I think seriously, it's gonna bring back the ECW fans. ECW wants to get some promotion. I think Brother Ray and Devon want to put Youngton over. The Time and Dreamer as well and Rhino. They knew the Wyatt family is buried already. The Wyatt family is buried. So what's the point for the Dudleys teaming ECW to beat the Wyatt family? Or the Wyatt family beating Team ECW? It's like nothing. It's just jobbers now. Because the Brothers of Destruction buried them. Your Undertaker and Kane beating up the Wyatt family. That's buried right there. I think it's like the match is like not be that good. Unless
So who do you got to win?
I the Wyatt family.
Okay, so you do got the Wyatt family to get over. Okay. All right, well, we'll go ahead and go to Paulston. Paulston was the Wyatt. What was the ECWs brought back for? What were they? I know they, you're probably going to say, well, obviously to get the ratings up, but were they brought back to put the Wyatt family over? Or were they brought back to put the fans over and have them beat the Wyatt family, the ECW fans?
I think the ECW originals were brought back because Bully Ray did a hell of a blowjob to John Cena on fucking Twitter. I forgot what it was. It was fucking what pay-per-view it was. But basically the fans were outraged whenever John Cena beat fucking numbnuts, Kevin Owens, right? And, Bully Ray went on his little Twitter campaign and was basically bashing everybody who had a problem with John Cena going over Kevin Owens. Okay. They're going to be frustrated. They're fans. We've seen John Cena quite a bit. They haven't built anybody up. We were getting invested in Kevin Owens, and then for Kevin Owens to come out there and lose to John Cena, I think it took a lot of wind out of the sales and whatnot for the fans. Me personally, I like I said, I really don't watch the product that much anymore. But I do think that to a degree they are brought in to bring back the ECW fans, because a lot of the ECW fans like TNA a little bit better because they do a little bit more. They have a little bit more freedoms, a little bit more liberty, high impact moves still. It kind of gives you a little bit of a feel, especially like in New York and some of the ECW places. TNA's really gets over. I mean, the crowds interact really well in those places, and I think that's what WWE wants in places like Chicago and New York and whatnot. As far as them being, you've got all these guys that were ECW originals. It's going to be an extreme match. I think this is going to be one of the more longer matches on the card. I think that I don't think that Braun Strowman. I don't think that they can afford a guy like Braun Strowman. Should have never lost to Undertaker and Kane. That was their place to put them guys over. They should have never lost to the Brothers of Destruction. This is just, once again, people just being out of touch, saying, well, we're going to try to make this fan-friendly, and everybody likes The Undertaker, and everybody likes Kane. We like them guys, but we don't want them to see them beat these younger stars. You've got to put over young talent. You've got to build on your young talent, and they're not doing that. I will go with the panel on this one. I think I'll go ahead and go with the Wyatt family. I think that it wouldn't make a lot of sense for them, especially with the ego that we know Triple H and Vince have, with competing with the WCW versus WWE in the Sting Triple H match. If you're going to go ahead and have Sting put over Triple H, you might as well go ahead and have the ECW originals put over the Wyatt family, just like maybe The Undertaker should have lost to Bray at WrestleMania, I think. I think that would have helped Bray, and then you could have built something up later on with Lesnar. But they didn't do that. So I think that they definitely got to go ahead. It's like everybody says, they usually have the Wyatt's job out in matches like this, but I'll go ahead and stay committed to the Wyatt family, and hopefully WWE does right by the Wyatt family, and we can go ahead and build on to off of this. I don't see how they're going to be built back up to be another Brother of Destruction or anything like that. To be another Undertaker, it's going to be hard, but hopefully they can go ahead and get some legitimacy in the Wyatts eventually.
All right. To be honest with you, I couldn't agree with you guys more. I pretty much agree with almost everything you guys said. I think the reason why the ECW originals were brought back to basically, to win the ECW fans over, to kind of say, well, okay, well, here's some guys that you still like, this, and that. We're going to bring them in there, feud them with the Wyatt family. Okay, cool concept. This feud could go on for a couple months. Maybe it's definitely got to die before Mania, because this is something, or it's got to have like a climax ending at Mania, or before that, can't keep going after that. But if you're going to rematch them on Raw the next night after the pay-per-view, kill it. Just kill it. All right. Now, in terms of the match, I think they were brought back to put the Wyatt family over and cater to the ECW fans at the same time. So I got the Wyatt family. So we'll go ahead and kick it off to the next match. And the next matchup on the card is a triple threat ladder match for the tag team titles. You got the Lucha Dragons versus the New Day, who are the current champions. And then you got the Usos in a triple threat ladder match. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with, and this is going to be random. We'll go ahead and start off with Brandon. Brandon, who do you got to win this match? And are you looking forward to this match? And is there anything you want to add to this?
This is probably the match on the card I'm most looking forward to, simply because, I mean, they're three decently talented teams, I would say. I think this is the match you get every year on the WrestleMania kickoff show. That's always really good, but no one really remembers it because it wasn't a part of the show, which is why I'm glad thus far they haven't made it a kickoff match, which I kind of assumed they would. I'm really I'm digging the match. There's a little build up, but I think this one's going to get most of its business done in the ring. I think it's going to be a visually excellent match, and honestly, the New Day is pretty hot right now, so I'm kind of torn between picking the New Day or the Usos. And I say the Usos because they're getting that Roman Reigns rub now. I'm a little torn, but honestly, I'd have to say the Usos in this one.
Okay, so Usos get the title back. So we're going to go ahead and go to John next. John, are you looking forward to this match? Who do you got to win? The Usos, the Lucha Dragons, and the New Day.
Well, I'm going to have to go with the, well, as all you probably can tell, I don't know if y'all know, but I'm a brother, so I'm going to go for the New Day, man. I think the New Day will win. The New Day's on the road, man. You know, they, I guess people are entertained by them. I'm on some wrestling internet forums, and people seem to like them for now anyway. But you know how the YWC, the IWC is. They swing with the wind, so they probably like them, hate them the next day, but I think the New Day's gonna win, man. I guess they getting over with that unicorn thing. I seen a picture with Vince McMahon with the unicorn thing with in the creative office, I guess. So I guess they over with McMahon. So I believe the New Day's gonna win this one. They the tag champs. They hot right now. You know what I'm saying? They probably the only motherfuckers on the damn show that got a fucking character. So I think New Day winning that one, man. New Day. New Day.
All right, so we'll go ahead and kick it off next. Bearstown, weigh in your thoughts. Who wins this match? Anything you want to add to it?
The New Day is good, man. You know why? Because it's simple. They have character, and of course, they sell the unicorns to female fans. The little girls can dream that the 3 unicorn twins. So yeah, the New Day, aka Unicorn family.
All right, so Polston, we'll let you go. First of all, what are your thoughts on this match, and is there anything intriguing about this matchup that you like? And is there going to be a longevity out of this? Is this going to go into Mania? I mean, what are your whole thoughts about this? Who wins the match?
All right, I honestly I think that the New Days I don't really care for the gimmick, especially on a guy like Biggie Langston, somebody that you could turn into like a bruiser type heel to help get over other talents and whatnot. But then they would book him to be a jobber, so I guess, having a big unicorn on your fucking thing on your fucking head and coming out there just is okay, I guess. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with Brandon on this one. I think that we have Alberto Del Rio returning the United States champion for the little League of Nations thing that they have going on. I think that the Usos will probably come out. I think that the Usos could probably do it, especially they're coming back. They are getting that Roman Reigns rub, and plus you can make a feud out of it. So you can have them win without this is a great time for them to get the titles off of the New Day and have them lose the titles without actually completely 100% saying, well, we can go ahead and break up the group. So I think that maybe this match right here, I think the Usos will go over. They'll put the titles back on the Usos, and I think that the Usos come out of this the winner. So I'll have to go with Brandon, and I'll go with the Usos.
All right, so Robbie Battle, educate us, man. Are you looking forward to this match? Does this match have any importance? Do you like the feud? Do you like where this is going? Is it going anywhere? And who do you got to win and why?
Well, as a fan of good tag team wrestling matches, I feel like it has the ability to be, like Brandon was saying, it'll be a lot of good ring work. As far as who wins the match, I'm kind of thinking New Day, because New Day is one of the few entertaining segments on Raw weekly. So I feel like they've built too much of a fan base with New Day that they'll probably end up winning that match. They'll extend that feud. They'll win dirty. They're not going to win clean. I fear it'll be something that'll happen screwy that they'll win. They'll probably extend that to either Rumble or Mania before they put the titles back on the Usos. I think the Usos will get the titles back eventually, but I don't think they're just going to give them that quick with New Day having that heat on them. They're hot right now. So I'm going to say the New Day. I'm looking forward to the match. I think this will be probably one of the better matches of the evening as far as ring work.
All right, so Robbie's got the New Day. All right, so Malik just joined us. Welcome, Malik, to the show. I just want to ask you this. We've already went through some of the matches, so since you just popped in on this match, we'll get your view on it. Your thoughts on the triple threat tag team match between the Luchadors, the New Day, and the Usos. First of all, what do you think of this feud? Second of all, does it hold any importance to you? Number three, do you see something in the longevity? Do you see this turn into a long-term rival between these guys? And who do you got to win and why? If there's anything else you want to share.
Okay. All right. First of all, what's up, everybody? It's been a while. What's up, Prodigal, Battle, Bearstown? What's up, Sam? Anyway, okay. This feud is basically, to me, comic relief and an insult to tag team wrestling, but the wrestlers are good. As far as picking a winner, I would like to see the Luchas win, basically because I don't think you've ever seen a Lucha Libre Tag Team Championship in WWE before. We've had British Bulldogs, and other tag teams in the past, but never any minority tag teams. As far as the longevity of the feud, I wouldn't do it long term. I think that would be bad. The fans would get probably bored, and it'd be irrelevant. It'd be a kind of irrelevant in a long term, a long term basis. Now, as far as the winners that most people have chosen, the New Day will probably go over because the over apparently is comically with the fans and probably Vince. Personally, I don't like the whole unicorn thing. I think it's kind of ridiculous, and I think they can do better. They can do better than that because to me, like I said, the New Day as tag team champions are just insulting to the legacy of the tag team championships. It's an insult to the Hart Foundation, the Bulldogs, every tag team who's held those belts in the past who didn't need really ridiculous gimmicks when they were good wrestlers anyway. Killer Bees, Can-Am Connection, et cetera, et cetera. The Demolition, the Powers of Pain that came for a while from the NWA. So that's my thoughts on that.
So Malik, I know you want to give it to the Malik. I know you said essentially. I wanted to kind of ask you this question. I know you said that you wanted the New Day or you wanted the Lucha Dragons to win because of the lack of foreign talent tag teams that have won in the past. Since you mentioned the British Bulldog and all that, my question is, well, two questions. Number one, if the Lucha Dragons win, would it create any prestige to the titles and to storylines in the future for the tag team belts? And number two, isn't it fair to say that the New Day is actually characters so popular right now, it's almost fair to say that they're the most entertaining segment on Raw, or they're the most entertainment segment on the show. So isn't it fair to say that maybe they should keep the titles based on that, or is there something else you're kind of looking at it?
I look at it like this, okay, the longer the New Day keeps the title, and they might seem like the most entertaining, at least in some people's opinions, in mine, I think it's still insulting. I think it's an insult to them by creative. And, like I said, like me being, African American, and like I said, I support all black wrestlers. But I think when Vince did this gimmick to these guys, I think, especially to Kofi Kingston, I think it was a punishment to them because it's technically making them look ridiculous. And the thing is, if the kids are starting to like them, that's just a thing saying, okay, yeah, they're liking them, but they're still laughing at them. And I don't think even as a wrestler, I don't want to be laughed at because that previous week in Nashville, or a couple of weeks ago in Nashville, if you saw the New Day with the pink horses heads and Biggie Langston wearing the Howdy Doody hat, which I thought was really sickening. And I'm thinking, oh, they really went there. Okay, this is the lowest of the low, and to have them dance in the ring with Team Bad, which is just that bad, that makes it all the worse. But yeah, I see your point. What you're saying. I think in the long term, yeah, the New Day will keep the titles in the long term because they're becoming, like I said. But to me, it's just comic relief.
Okay. Now, also, I do agree with what you're saying about the racial thing, and given that African American wrestlers spoil gimmicks and like you still like them, but you're laughing at them. I think what I like most about this group is the fact that they troll. And on YouTube, that term troll is used so much frequently that when we see it out in the real world, we take it as like, oh, this is somebody trolling. It's fair to say that Xavier Woods is the best troll I've ever seen in wrestling since Dwight the Clown. I think he's the best troll I've ever seen in wrestling.
Yeah, like I said, that trombone is a compliment. But what was even funnier is when the Usos grabbed that trombone and stomped the mess out of him for a little while, saying, "Oh yeah, unicorn, bam, bam," and they were just stomping him. That was kind of funny. But as far as him, like I said, when he's out there, he is hilarious. Like I said, as you're watching him, and you might start to grin yourself, like, okay, yeah, this is kind of funny, But in long term, when you see this every week, it's like, okay, this is getting repetitious. Let's do something else. Because I believe all these guys are much better, can be much better than this persona we're seeing. You know what I mean?
Hey, can I say something real quick?
Go ahead, John.
The thing about Xavier Woods is he sort of looks like Donk the Clown with his little puffy hair and little colorful fucking pants and shit he wear. But yeah, man, I have to agree with Malik here though a little bit. I do think I won't say it's a little insulting, but it's a little. They remind me of them old racist like cartoons or whatever back in the old days. You look up on YouTube and they had a little black face and the big ass red lips and shit. And they going and the way they acting and shit. That's how I see the New Day, man. That's how I look at them. They just seem like the modern day Jigaboo to me. So, I think they should have stuck with the original concept, made them like a nation of domination, like stable. Because Xavier Woods, he was pulling off that character pretty good. He was coming out saying, the black wrestlers are not treated fairly and shit. And Kofi Kingston and them like agreeing with him. So I think they should have stayed with that, man. That would have been good, man. I mean, it would have been like a new nation of domination. Big E would have been like a big ass enforcer, Xavier Woods be the manager type, but he get in the ring and wrestle too. You know what I'm saying? Like he like a manager and a wrestler at the same time. Some type of shit could have been like that.
Now Malik, John, let me ask all you guys on the panel this: what would you think when I saw this new gimmick for the New Day? The first thing I thought was Devon should be calling and asking for his church gimmick back. Remember when him and Batista was the deacon?
Yeah.
And then he'll testify. Now that was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of cool. And I said, well, that would be kind of cool if Devon came in and was like, "This is my panel," or "This is my followers," or something, and they kind of did something cool with that.
Yeah, that'd have been cool. See, that'd have been a surprise and a swerve because then you have Devon and 4 black wrestlers forming a stable, and you could have added more members. But see, when Vince took them to this comical thing, he said, "Okay, that's all done now." And like I said, when Biggie Langston wore that Howdy Doody hat, that was it for me. That was just totally wrong.
The dildo on the forehead.
Yeah, and another thing they could have added some female black wrestlers to the stable, like Naomi. I don't know if Sasha Banks is black. She sort of looks a little black to me. So.
What about Alicia Fox?
Yeah, Alicia Fox, her too. I think it would have been they could have been something special, man. But of course, WWE has to fuck it up. And now they got stuck with that dumbass gimmick. But you know, they made it work because, you know, like you say, they the most entertaining on the show in my opinion. You know, they made me laugh. I ain't gonna lie, I laugh sometimes when I see the clips. Yeah. So I think
one thing I'm pretty sure all you guys can agree to is I paid WCW some homage to this. They made actual kind of gimmicks and it kind of worked. Like they made Team Canada and they put Team Canada over like for months when they had Lance Storm and he had that whole group of Canadians running the show.
Renee Dupree.
Remember that?
That was WWE, man, or WWF.
I thought WCW had Team Canada, and then they went up against Misfits in Action. Remember?
Yeah. And Hacksaw Jim Duggan, he turned against America.
Major Guns. Remember Major Guns with the big boobs? Remember?
Yeah. And then at the end of it, when Hacksaw got out of it, they were chanting USA. And then
Hugh
changed
Morris,
his mind.
That was tight. Hugh Morris was the leader of the Misfits in Action.
Yeah.
That was cool. And remember when Lance Storm, he was like, "Can you please rise for the Canadian national anthem?" And everyone would boo the shit out of him. But whenever they would go to Canada, they would cheer the heels. So whenever the Misfits in Action would come out, they would boo, boo. You know, they boo all the American wrestlers. You know.
Yeah.
I miss those days where they stopped doing stuff like that. That was cool, you know.
Yeah, stuff like that. They don't like you say, they stopped doing it. You know. Oh, and another thing they stopped doing. What about the beatdowns, man? Like the beatdowns in the fucking backstage. I remember motherfucker watching TV and shit, nigga. Mankind doing an interview or whatever the fuck. And this thing, you know, The Rock come out. He started beating the motherfucking shit out of this motherfucker. So they fucking each other up. Hitting each other on all type of shit, nigga. That was the shit. I used to love seeing that shit.
Any of y'all remember the Super Bowl halftime special? I think it was Pittsburgh and Dallas Super Bowl. Whenever it was The Rock and Mick Foley, and he was gonna fight for the title there in the Super Bowl, and The Rock is just beating his ass all the way across the damn arena, throwing cotton candy. Oh, here you go, jabroni. Here's just some cotton candy, and he just beat the fuck out of Mankind all the way across the arena. And then Mankind ended up beating him with a forklift.
Oh, you know something? You know which one? I know everybody gonna love this one. Stone Cold, Booker T, and the motherfucking grocery store. Stone Cold beat the shit out of Booker T in that grocery store. That shit was hilarious. I was watching it on YouTube. That shit was fucking funny. He said, "Hey, Buck, you forgot the milk." He just started him and everything, nigga. Price check for a jackass. You don't get shit like that no more, nigga. That's some memory, nigga. That shit make me smile. You don't get shit like that. That's why I don't like it no more, man. It ain't really got that no more. It's just
and then
boring.
Stone Cold popping fucking Vince McMahon across the fucking head with his bedpan, sneaking in as the doctor. He whooped the shit out of Vince McMahon in that hospital room. That shit was fucking hilarious.
You remember one time, the Kiss and Ass Club? Remember how I put a kissy? Vince
McMahon. Yeah.
Put up to his ass.
All right, so guys, let's go ahead and get to the next
saying.
matchup. Y'all ready for the next matchup?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go ahead and start off with the next matchup, and a match that I really could care less about. And to get back to the last match, I got the New Day to win. I have really nothing to add to it. Y'all pretty much said everything I was going to say. This next matchup here is Rusev versus Ryback. Now, you would think that these two guys were cool at some time. I remember when Rusev was undefeated, no one could break a streak at Ends of Mania. Cena defeated it. Ryback was an up-and-coming future WWE heavyweight champion. Cena threw him through an ambulance, and that was pretty much the last we heard of Ryback. And since then, these two guys, they'll get mini pushes. It's like trying to start your car and you don't have a starter. And it goes, then it starts. That's kind of like these guys. They're at those clicks right now, and they need to replace their starters, but we want to know when those starters will be replaced. And if they are replaced, will we even care at that point because it took so long for you to change the damn starter out? So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and call on Malik first since, you know, he hadn't got a chance to comment. Who gives a shit about this match? Please give me one reason why we should. And who do you got to win and why?
Which match is this? I had to step away for a second. Hey, Steven, which match is this? I had to step away for a
So
second.
Ryback and Rusev.
Oh, Ryback and Rusev, yeah. Well, this storyline is basically a spin-off offshoot of the Ziggler Lana love triangle. And yeah, Ryback has become, non-entertaining. The whole big guy thing is kind of worn out. He's not exciting as he once was, a few years ago when he was, a little more serious. He's also got more comic relief. And why does anybody give a shit? I don't know. It's like basically the old American tradition, though, the USA chant versus the Russian. That's why Ryback will be cheered and possibly go over. And and as you saw in Raw, the distraction by Lana, pretending to be hurt and Ryback showing compassion, which was dumb, and then of course getting his butt kicked for it. So yeah, no, I don't give a shit about this match either, because I just want the whole Lana Rusev, whatever this is, to be done, and then they can move on and finally get married. And I'm just thinking in the future, I think Rusev his days are numbered because of her, because of revealing, breaking kayfabe. The term they use is breaking kayfabe, when they posted the picture from TMZ and saying they were engaged when she was obviously supposed to be, still being with Ziggler like she was at the time. And I've often said this. I've said this in videos, regardless of what they say on camera. I believe Ziggler zigzagged that more than once, especially during SummerSlam weekend. But as far as the match,
Fair. All right, now that we got Malik, who do you got to win, Malik, the match? Who do you got as the winner?
I'm gonna go with Rusev probably.
Okay, all right, Robbie Battle, man. I see you over there with your hand on your head. Seem you a little impatient. So we're calling you next. Why should we give two shits about this match?
Yeah, good question, man. I wish I could give you an answer on that one. It's sad because I liked when they had the bully gimmick on Ryback. I thought that was the best thing for him to beat a bully. I thought that was hilarious. Never liked him as a good guy. I don't know, just he's got an awkward character. I don't know. I don't even know what they can do with him now. He's got an awesome look, but I don't really know. I think he's pretty much. I think they've already pushed him as much as they can. I think Rusev will get the victory. At least I hope so. I think Ryback's is going to be just a big guy that's on the card. I don't see him ever really getting elevated anywhere. I think they've tried elevating him and just didn't work. So yeah, I wish I could give you a good answer. I don't know if there's a way they can make people care about this match.
So who wins this match?
Rusev. Rusev's going to win.
All right, so Brandon, we'll go with you next. Why should we care about your favorite match on the card? Who wins?
Oh yeah, absolutely my favorite match on the card. With this one, it's really a battle of guys who have yet to hit the point that obviously creative wanted them to hit years ago. I think Rusev is a better in-ring competitor, not by a huge long shot, but definitely noticeable to me and several others. This match is definitely going to be the weakest sauce on the card, in my opinion, even weaker than the Divas match. But if we're going strictly off of who's going to win here, I have to admit I'm a little bit torn. Ryback has a unbelievable win streak for televised matches for anyone who wants to go check that out. Ryback and the Lucha Dragons have an unbelievable win streak in televised matches. But then again, I don't want to assume that the WWE is going to continue to bury a brand new faction. So I'm a little bit torn here, but I guess I'll go with Rusev.
All right, so Bearstown, educate us, man. Should we care about this match and who's going to win the match and why?
I don't care about this match. Rusev's gonna win. Rusev's gonna win. That's it.
All right, so you got Rusev, okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and go to John. Educate us here, man. Is there any, John, let me ask you this. To me, and I don't mean to sound funny here, I'm just going to be honest with you, I felt like if you grabbed the broomstick and shoved it up both of their asses, I would be more entertained than the actual match itself.
Ooh.
Okay.
Cold.
As y'all know, I kept disconnecting a little bit. So, what's the match? What else?
Rusev
Ryback
versus
and Rick Flair.
Ryback, and the loser gets the broom shoved up his ass.
I don't know about all that one though, but I'm gonna say Rusev because you know the whole he's getting married to Lana, so you know they got that whole love thing going on again. Plus he already fucking lost a feud. I'm pretty sure. Didn't he lose the last feud he was in? I believe he did. Yeah. So I think Rusev is going to win it because the whole Lana thing. Lana's going to do some shit. I guess she's going to fake an injury again or whatever. You know, WWE these days, they're not creative at all. So it's going to be some simple shit like that. So I take Rusev to win.
All right, so Paulson, who do you got? Rusev, Ryback. Is there any interest in this match? Should we even care? How long is this feud going to continue? Should it even continue?
Well,
why should we care about this match?
Just to sit there and say, putting Lana with fucking Dolph Ziggler in the first place was like, you know, making shit-flavored ice cream, in my opinion. The two really didn't belong together. It kind of hurt Lana. So I don't understand any kind of repercussions that Lana would have if her and Rusev were to say come out and get married, because that's real life. You know, I'm not gonna put in there. I just don't see a lot with Ziggler, anyways. He's been pushed, and he's been pushed again, and the guy just can't get that. He can't get that connection. You know, whether it be no fault of his own, whatever. He's just not connecting with the fan base. So I really don't see that having anything to do with this match. Honestly. Ryback is one of those guys. Both Ryback and Rusev should be a lot further along as far as their build goes. Basically, for this company, we should be having Ryback merchandise. We should be talking about Ryback. We should be talking about Rusev. And this match should be a lot more anticipated than it is. This just goes along with WWE and their inconsistency and their inability to build up any stars at this point. I think personally, myself, there yet again, we're going back to the faction. And what point would it make to have this faction lose, like Alberto Del Rio needs to go over Jack Swagger? I think Rusev, which I do like Rusev. There's a lot to like about Rusev. I think that this will probably be a pretty decent match for a big guys match. I think that you know, Rusev can work. I know that that Ryback works a little stiff in the ring. I'll go ahead and take Rusev in this one because they've got to go ahead, make that heel stable look legit, and maybe later on you can use Ryback in, you know, Roman Reigns stable later on, or he's got something against this faction. They've got to make this faction look strong against the card, and I think that Rusev takes this match against Ryback.
I'm gonna go ahead and add this. Sorry about the broomstick up the ass. The reason why I said that because it's just like a metaphoric reason of saying like that's how much of the importance of the match is. But Paulson pretty much answered it. Like these guys should be further into their characters than they are. They have no interest. Like Ryback, he's really never been a good wrestler to me. He's just a good entertainer. Now what they should have done was they should have let Ryback keep the bully gimmick. I thought that was slightly entertaining, and I thought it was kind of cool in a sense. And what he could have did was he could have picked on somebody, and then Rusev could have came in and like took up for the guy, and then they could have built something on that. Or what they could have done was they could have had both of them bullying, and then it was like two bullies in the schoolyard, but one wants like two of a kind never get along. If you ever heard that old saying, they could have built something on that, like anything to just kind of spice it up and flare it up a little bit instead of just like, oh, well, you know, this guy pretended to be hurt and this guy did this. Like, why don't both of these guys are basically both kind of heels in a sense anyway, so why don't you just make them both heelish and just roll the dice and see where it goes? Now, if you ask me who wins this match, probably Rusev most likely. Again, whoever wins this match, they probably could build some kind of momentum going into WrestleMania. But then again, if this one guy wins and then goes to Royal Rumble, then the next guy wins, it's kind of like, okay, well, where's this going? So I'm kind of hoping this feud ends quickly after January, and then whoever wins, they can maybe build some sort of a push to Mania off of this guy. I don't know if they're going to give him a belt. I don't know if I'm ready to see Rusev win another U.S. Championship. I don't even know if I'm ready for Ryback to see another title because, again, these guys aren't entertaining to me. I mean, their characters entertain me, not them with titles. When they had the titles, it was a little blandish, a little stalish. So I guess I'll go with Ryback. Just, if you had to tell me to pick one, and I'm forced to pick one, I'll pick Rusev. I meant to say. So we'll go ahead and go to the next match. You guys are ready? It's the Intercontinental Championship match, Kevin Owens versus Dean Ambrose. Now, if memory serves me correct, and I'll let the political champ go first, doesn't it seem like to me that this match was already fought before at a little place called the Survivor Series in the Final Four? So we are seeing this match. Why?
Because I guess it's Kevin Owens' turn to get over on Dean Ambrose. This should be a pretty interesting. I want to sit there and say this should be an interesting match. This should have been an interesting build-up. But their build-up is just Dean Ambrose coming and throwing popcorn in Kevin Owens' face and a soda and whatnot. So that's the legitimacy. But whenever you got somebody in a Dean Ambrose that could actually entertain your fans and is the direction that you need to go, I think definitely this needs to be a balls-to-the-wall, a long match, a tedious match. I think that this needs to be – I think this right here – If Ambrose loses, needs to be Bret Hart versus Stone Cold. For this got to be the turning point. This match has to be the turning point where people are getting invested, where we see, man, he fought his heart out. It's a damn shame he didn't win this match and then go on a tear. Because Dean Ambrose is going to be one of them guys that you can bring interest into the product. He is good on the mic. He's not bad in the ring. He's not horrible. I think that there are better workers in the ring, but he's not completely horrible in the ring. And I think that he's going to be one of the guys, like a Bray Wyatt on the opposite side as a heel. Dean Ambrose is your anti-hero that you can get a fan base built around if you promote him right, if you develop him right, and do right by Dean Ambrose, and stop sticking him with this, I'm finding a payday, or I'm just going to do some kiddie, childish stuff. Go back to that heel mentality as an anti-hero. The problem is with WWE is back in the days when they developed a character like a Stone Cold, like The Rock, like The Undertaker, they always stayed in character. Whether they were a heel or they were a face, they always kept their same persona. And now whenever these guys flip between back and forth, now you have Dean Ambrose who came in as kind of like this sadistic badass that was just really like a psychopath, kind of reminded a lot of people of Brian Pillman. Whenever he's doing these cheap, gimmicky stuff, throwing popcorn, throwing soda in the face and stuff like that, it cheapens his persona that they've built up with him already. I think that Kevin Owens, though, he's a good in-ring performer. He's definitely got a fan base behind him. I think Kevin Owens wins this match. So
you're saying that if Owens doesn't win, will it damage his character?
If Owens doesn't win,
yeah.
I think it would damage at this point right now. I don't know. I don't think it'll damage his character right now, especially since he's already lost to Dean. But I think that kind of even it up later on. He's already lost to Dean Ambrose, so. With the kind of character that Kevin Owens is and the ability that he has in ring, I think that maybe later on you can develop something later on down the line for Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens. But I meant right now, Kevin Owens is one of them guys that you're going to have, is another one of those guys that if done right, if they can invest a little bit more, promote him a little bit better, develop a character around him, he's going to be one of them guys that can compete. And you just don't have enough guys right now that can compete, is the problem with WWE. Nobody's taking Roman Reigns seriously because you haven't developed him right. You haven't stuck anything with him. It's the same thing with any of these guys.
Okay, but you're saying Kevin Owens, they pretty much is a must-win. They need to give Kevin Owens his win.
To bring in interest in a later storyline, I think that Kevin Owens should win this one right here because you want to have that, seed of doubt. Dean has already beat him before. Now it's time for Kevin to come back, get his victory, and then maybe later on, if it just depends on how they do WrestleMania, you could have a WrestleMania match, the split match, to decide to determine.
All right, so Bearstown, man, who wins this match? Are you intrigued by the matchup, Ambrose versus Owens?
Okay, it's a pretty good match.
Who do you got to win?
I think it's gonna be the Ambrose gonna win.
Okay, so you got Dean Ambrose. Okay.
It's gonna be a good match.
Okay, all right. Anything else you want to add to it, or is that
Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty good match.
Okay, all right. All right, so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to Eeny, Miny, Miny, Mo, Robbie Battle by the toe. Robbie Battle. Does this match hold any prestige to you? Is this one of your favorite matches on the match card? What do you think about the longevity of this feud, if it goes on past this month? And who got to win and why?
And this is the who were the two fighting again?
Ambrose and Owens.
Ambrose and Owens. It should be an awesome match, to be honest. It's like, a lot of these matches should be good matches. It's just going to be interesting to see how they work out when they actually occur. But as far as this match goes, I have a feeling Ambrose is going to win. I think that he'll end up getting that title. I think with Kevin Owens, there's a lot of things to do with there's certain people in the WWE that don't like his weight, I guess I'm told. So I don't know. I kind of have a weird feeling that Dean Ambrose is probably going to get that title. That's just what I feel. I could be wrong though.
All right, so you got Ambrose. Ambrose. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go to Jonathan. Jonathan, who do you got to win this match? What are your thoughts on the match in general?
Well, first of all, I just want to correct everybody. My name is John. The whole I know this don't have nothing to do with it right now, but the whole Illuminati, they spying and all that shit, so they monitoring the Google, so I didn't want to put my real name, my real, identity, so I just put. I didn't want to put my real names. I just put John Doe, so my real name is just Sammy. So Sam, you call me Sam, Sammy, Big Sam, whatever you want, Sankavelli or whatever. But as far as this match go, I have to go with my boy Dean Ambrose, man. Dean Ambrose is the fan favorite for me. He put on pretty decent matches in my opinion. And I think Ambrose is going to win. So I go with Ambrose.
All right. We're going to go ahead and go to... what, you want to add something? Sorry, Sam.
No, that's it. I go Ambrose.
All right, so we'll go ahead and go to Malik next. You got to win this match.
I'm going to pick Dean Ambrose. I think he's due for a title, long overdue, actually. And I think this is going to be one of the best matches of the whole pay-per-view. It's definitely going to be better than the main event, of course. Like I said, you have two good wrestlers, good storyline. Those two, I think, are two of the premier best athletes that have the best storyline going, and they both can cut good promos. They can talk and they can wrestle. Very rare to what you mostly see now, which is basically bad. You put those two back in the 80s, and they would still thrive. So, see, that's how good they are. See, you still have a few rarities coming in the wrestling that are actually good that people want to watch, but they're just, like I said, they're either buried by John Cena or forced down to the mid card. But yeah, I'm picking Dean Ambrose, the lunatic fringe.
All right, so Brandon, who do you got to win this match, and what's your most position looking into this? What is you looking most forward to in this match?
I'm actually looking forward to the match itself, to be honest with you. You got a guy like Kevin Owens and you got Dean Ambrose out there who I feel like the majority of people would agree that these two are going to have a good match. I think their match at Survivor Series was decent, but it left a lot. To me, I expected a little bit more, and I have a feeling that we may get that little more at TLC. As far as who's going to win the match, I hate to say it again for the second or third time, on this hangout, but I am a little bit torn. Ambrose really is kind of the guy who has yet to get any big win he's been in. I do agree with the point made earlier that Ambrose is really overdue a championship. He's one of the most over guys in the entire company. He's got a big fan base. Overall, I would say that this match is going to be, just as I said about the tag titles, I think this match is going to be one of the best matches on the card, honestly. But I have to go and agree with Malik, who said that Ambrose is overdue a title, and I think Dean Ambrose will walk away with the Intercontinental Championship come TLC.
All right, well, here goes my look on it. At WrestleMania 32, I've been saying this the whole year, is you have to make the heavyweight championship match involving the Shield, which is all three members. It can't happen because Seth Rollins is probably going to be out past Mania. So that's going to throw a monkey wrench into my final resolution to this fiasco. So I guess what they need to probably do is just give Ambrose the Intercontinental Championship and see where the dice rolls. But to me, I feel like if Roman Reigns and Ambrose both come out the title winners, and I don't mean to go into the early predictions, if you were to give them two the titles, it would kind of throw a monkey wrench into their Mania moment, because you want to give somebody like a Mania moment. If they're defending the title in the Mania, that's not a Mania moment, because then they're defending the title. You want a Mania moment for like up and coming young stars to like win a match that has meaning to it. So what is the meaning? That you gain something in return for that win. So you gain a championship for a lustrous victory over a fearsome, gruesome opponent at Mania. So I think, strategy-wise, I think Kevin Owens retains the IC title, and you give Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns their Mania moments to win titles. That's what I think the plan they're going to roll with here. And that's the plan that makes the most sense. So I got Kevin Owens in that aspect. So closing out on that match. We're at the final match of the match card. And you got Sheamus versus Roman Reigns in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. So the Celtic Warriors' first title defense will be against the Big Dog in the tables match. Ladders and chairs match on December 13th. So Sheamus and Roman Reigns. So I guess the two questions I'm going to be asking everybody on the panel is, number one, is there going to be an oh my god moment where just something spectacular is going to happen? And number two, if that doesn't happen, is there going to be any meaning to this match? In other words, does Roman Reigns, obviously he can't win the title, because then if he cashes in, there's no one to cash in. So if Reigns wins the belt, it's for good. Like, it's for that night. And then the next night, I don't know what they're going to do after that. But to me, and I'm going to answer first. I'm calling myself first. I see a screw job coming. I think something happens to where Sheamus wins by a heelish move, and I think he ends up retaining the title. I think he ends up cheating. I think they're going to do Roman Reigns the same way they did Daniel Bryan, and how they did him at SummerSlam with that whole storyline thing. You should have joined us, or Roman Reigns didn't, and then he gets his Mania moment and wins the heavyweight championship. That's what I think is going to happen. So I'm calling. I got Sheamus to win the match. So I'm going to go ahead and call first Bearstown. Bearstown, who do you got to win and why?
Sheamus gonna win. Since it's predictable. Roman's gets screwed. Somebody else. Roman's gonna do somebody new. Sheamus wins.
Okay. So you got Sheamus to win. All right, we're going to go ahead and go with Brandon next. Brandon, who you got? Sheamus versus Roman Reigns. Is there going to be an oh my god moment, or not looking forward to that?
I got to say, with these two, I really don't see one of those oh my god moments happening. I just don't. I think the match will probably be decent. Definitely not one of the stronger main events this year. I have to go with Sheamus winning, because I feel as if WWE right now is trying to do something they're not doing with a lot of other guys, and that's actually build Reigns to the title. I think in no matter what company we're talking about pro wrestling, and the idea behind pro wrestling has always and will always be to tell a story. And in telling the story, I believe that is what we're watching right now. Roman Reigns' ascension to the WWE Championship. With that said, I'm going with Sheamus.
So we'll go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and throw a wrench in. We'll go with Shawn Michael Polston. So Polston, educate us. Is there going to be anything spectacular in this match to look out for? How's the match going to end? Who's going to win and why?
Okay, I got Sheamus, maybe by a disqualification, winning this match. There yet again, like everybody's already said, they're gonna have to keep this. They're doing the Daniel Bryan storyline over with Roman Reigns, and basically the only bad thing about this storyline is that everybody knows the storyline. That's the only bad thing. That's why they're like, oh well, why can't we get Roman over with this? It worked for Daniel Bryan, and it doesn't always work that way. But it seems like that's what they're doing. As far as an oh shit moment, and I'll go ahead and bounce this little nugget off of you. What happens if, like, say, it's a pretty even match. Both men are kind of, trying to get back up, gain a position of advantage. Brock Lesnar comes in there and F5s the shit out of Sheamus or something to go ahead and set up maybe some sort of match for the Royal Rumble or whatnot. That would be interesting, and I think that would help give like some sort of legitimacy maybe to the belt. I just don't know. Would you have like a triple threat match at Royal Rumble, or would you have? It would be interesting. It would be interesting to see Brock Lesnar get involved to help the storyline progress and help them get more interest, because right now they're falling to like a 2.15. So you want to have them tune in, and I think the best way to do that would probably be able to get Brock Lesnar involved in this title thing with Sheamus, and just to go ahead and basically lay waste to the place. I'd say I'm throwing my hat in the ring, but I have Sheamus winning. It doesn't make any sense right now with this stable for him to lose so quickly, and then have this stable only last a couple of weeks, a few weeks. That would be it. So yeah, definitely he's got the authority on his side, and I think Sheamus somehow ends up retaining, whether unclean, because they're going to still protect Roman Reigns, but somehow Sheamus wins and he retains.
All right, so Sam, let the viewers know, let the panel know, who wins this match? Is there an oh my god moment, an oh shit moment, or is this going to be a shitty match? I mean, like, what are your thoughts on the whole thing? Who do you got to win and why?
Sheamus. Because I'm like Polson said, WWE is giving Roman Reigns the Daniel Bryan push, so that would mean I'm pretty sure he's gonna lose due interference or some shit. I'm pretty sure Triple H is gonna come out and do some shit, maybe pedigree Roman Reigns and some shit, or the League of Jobbers come out. Something. I think the oh my god moment. I think it's gonna be some type of oh my god moment, because Roman Reigns. They have to get him over, because say what you want about Roman Reigns, but everybody always say WWE need to start building new stars, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to build him up, which is it's a good thing, because anything's better than fucking Cena. So I think that's a good thing, but so I think they're gonna fucking wait and have Roman Reigns winning that Mania, because they are banking on the fans maybe catching on to Roman Reigns more, and the whole Daniel Bryan push, like I'm pretty sure they hoping that like how people felt sympathy for Daniel Bryan or whatever when he lost against the Wyatts or whatever the hell, or he had to join the Wyatt family, or he came close to winning or something. I think he didn't he won one time, like Roman Reigns did. Didn't that happen the same way? Like he won the title.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Sheamus came out. I think it was Sheamus who came out of the Bro Kid. I don't know. I don't remember who it was, but I remember they did that to Daniel Bryan too. So, and then he got the title. And then Bryan got the title at Mania, and all the fans were happy. Yes, yeah, whatever, and all that. So I think they're trying to do that with Roman Reigns. I think they're going to try to bank on the fans maybe catching on the reins and hoping that they can get him over Daniel Bryan's style.
You know, if Reigns had a yes chant or something, maybe that would help. I'm just saying, because
Yeah.
you know the yes chants help Daniel Bryan's ass.
Yeah.
All right, so Malik, weigh in on this. Who wins the match? What importance does it hold? And what are you looking most forward to the match? Who wins?
Okay, this is the main event, of course. Sheamus versus Roman Reigns. This feud hasn't been very entertaining or exciting, and like I said, creative just keeps sinking Reigns with the promos because tater tots was the worst line they came up with for him. As far as the match, it should be decent because it's going to be weapons, ladders, chairs. That's probably going to make the match entertaining. Since there's weapons involved. So, because if it was a regular match, it probably wouldn't be too exciting. But I see Sheamus keeping the title, and for the long term, why? Because, to have Reigns win the title at TLC would make sense because they need to save his build for WrestleMania 32. I see Roman Reigns getting the title at WrestleMania 32 for the oh my god moment.
All right. What do you think, Bran? What do you think about this?
We still talking main event here?
Yeah, Roman Reigns and Sheamus.
Oh yeah, I weighed in on this one already. I went Sheamus for this one.
Oh, okay. What about you, Bearstown?
Sheamus.
You okay? You okay? Robbie, did you weigh in already?
No, actually I didn't. So I was laughing. I think with this match, it'll be an okay match. It won't be a bad match. I don't think it'll be a stinker of a match. Just keep a microphone away from every one of these guys. Yeah, especially Roman Reigns. No offense to him, but his promos are just pretty bad. I don't know. I think with I still say Roman Reigns the heel was the best way to go with this guy. I like him as a baby face, but that's what's going to happen. I feel like he's going to get the Daniel Bryan treatment. He'll eventually get that title probably at WrestleMania, but they're gonna make him suffer before he gets or try to build him up, make it look like he's suffering. And he'll get the title eventually, but they're gonna build it up. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's basically the over-scripting of these guys. There's no identity to them. I think that these guys would do a lot better if they could have some creative input into their own characters. But the bad thing is, WWE doesn't really know how to write any captivating stuff. These writers are writing like they're writing for sitcoms still. And it's just not getting over for the wrestlers or whatnot. You're not going to hear Roman Reigns get over by talking like Seinfeld, all right? He's, hey, what's up, George? Hey, are you going to the Yankees game? That doesn't work for the wrestlers, You need the whole, I'm going to kick your ass, and there's nothing you're going to do. I'm going to take your woman and your title, and that's what, made wrestling as great as it was back in the days. And there's no really character development for any of these guys is a bad thing. And I think basically with Sheamus and Roman, it's just kind of falling flat, and we're seeing that in the title, and it's sad because they're the heavyweights. They're the ones that are representing your company. Does anybody else? What do y'all think of this pay-per-view? We'll go ahead and start with you, Bran. We'll go ahead and start with you. What do you think? How do you think this pay-per-view is going to be?
I'm someone who's really against the renaming of pay-per-views as they've done over the last several years to a gimmick match. I'm not really down with that. I thought it was a lot more exciting when a match like TLC could pop up anytime. Granted, it was typically a SummerSlam or a WrestleMania, but I'm more on the team of unpredictability, which is what I think a lot of what WWE's problem right now is that a lot of it is just that predictable. And I'm a WWE fan. But like I said earlier, I'm not afraid to call them out on their bullshit when they have it. Overall, this pay-per-view I think is is it will have its moments. I think there are going to be some good matches on the card, but are you going to remember TLC 2015 in 5 years? Probably not. I think it'll be a decent show. Memorable? No.
How about you, Sam? What do you think? Are you there, Sam?
Yeah.
Okay, there you
I don't know, man. Doing WWE and their pay-per-views. The last pay-per-view, I remember doing the I remember we did a hangout on the last pay-per-view. That's when Sheamus won. That pay-per-view, I didn't watch it, but that pay-per-view, from what everybody was, some people was watching, I think, on that hangout. So to that, like that pay-per-view fucking sucked. From the sounds of it, it was fucking trash. So I'm taking this one to be, it has the Ambrose, the Ambrose match, the Ryback matches and stuff like that. Probably gonna be a little bit better than that show because it's TLC and the whole spot. I'm pretty sure with Reigns and fucking Sheamus, I'm pretty sure gonna be some type of oh my god moment like we've been saying. So yeah, it might be a little bit better than the last pay-per-view, but it's probably not gonna be that great. Like he said, it's not gonna be memorable. I'm pretty sure. I doubt anyone's gonna even give a shit the next night on Raw. Matter of fact, I don't even give a shit right now. So I ain't even know none of the matches on the card until I did this hangout. So I pretty much on the fly.
All right. What about you, Malik?
This pay-per-view doesn't look too exciting. Like I said, I purchased the network, got paid at work yesterday, so I'm going to watch it. Like I said, maybe the best couple matches might be the tag match and the Kevin Owens Ambrose match. The main event might be pretty entertaining as long as they use as many chairs and tables as they can, because we get the oohs and ahs, maybe a little blood unless WWE tries to cover it up, But yeah, no, I mean the pay-per-view isn't something that's exciting to look forward to, but I'm going to watch it, being a wrestling fan, so I'm going to see, what they do and how it goes down. You never know, that they may surprise us and leave us wanting more for the future. Who knows? I'm hoping they finally learned a lesson from last Monday when people walked out before the main event segment. I hope maybe Vince and Triple H learned something from that.
What about you, Robbie? We'll go ahead and go with you.
I think the pay-per-view has the ability of being a good show. It's like Brandon says, none of it's not going to be memorable. I'm not a big fan of the current structure of how they do pay-per-views. I think there's way too many of them, personally. I don't like the idea that, I know it's great. It's cheaper to get pay-per-views now off the network, but I felt like it just added like a sense of importance. The way they used to do the pay-per-view structures, where you only had one every 2 or 3 months or whatever. I miss that old system. But I feel like it's, with as cheap as it is to get the pay-per-views, it feels like another Raw to me a lot of times. I don't know. It has, like I said, it has the ability to be a good show. I think it'll be okay, but it's not going to be memorable. It's not nothing we're going to remember, that's for sure.
Okay, Bearstown, your takeaway from this pay-per-view.
It's gonna stink this year. The goal is gonna be that good. It's gonna be true. It's gonna be a -10.
-10, huh?
This is gonna suck ass.
Well,
Yep.
is Steven back yet?
That was funny.
Yeah.
Are you back? Okay. What's your we'll go ahead and go with you. What's your takeaway from this pay-per-view? What do you think this pay-per-view, at the end of the day, how do you think this pay-per-view is going to be?
Not really that good. The whole build to this, I can honestly say, besides Survivor, the Survivor Series is okay. This pay-per-view was probably the worst build I've seen this year. Like this year, I can honestly say the build to this pay-per-view in general, if you go by month basis, from the people walking out on Monday Night Raw to being 3 straight Raws of horrible creativity. I mean, I've seen some bad nights, but the last month seemed pretty. It seemed like they really didn't even care to try. You know what I'm saying? And you can see by the guys in the ring when the storylines and stuff. That's why I'm not even going to watch it. I'm going to watch the Texans-Patriots Sunday Night Football game as opposed to watching this. I think if I go back and watch it, I hope to see an okay pay-per-view. But other than that, I think out of a 1 to 10, I see it maybe being a possible 5. Or between 4 and 5, probably 5 at the most.
All right.
Nothing
Well,
really
like for me, the potential is there. We know that they're gonna have to start developing these stars, and at least I hope they take advantage with these pay-per-views. I think that there's gonna have to be at least a little bit of shock and awe, and not be the tender, loving care, and be table, ladders, and chairs. All right. Let's go ahead and have some oh shit moments. Let's go ahead and run with doing stuff that may be to a degree extreme, and really get people invested and really get people interested in the wrestling product again. Because really, at this fucking point, if they keep on doing this, they're getting killed in the ratings by pretty much anything that comes on Monday. Me and Steven Rose can do start a TV show and start it this next fucking Monday, and it's going to draw better than Raw is currently right now. And I think that you know, with all these new shows and whatnot, they're going to have to step up, and they're going to have to start developing their talents. That's going to be a hard road to...
What I think they should do is if they have a pay-per-view like tomorrow, and then you know Monday Night Raw is going to be, like, okay, what are we going to do for Raw? Well, number one, the thing you should not do is have them all have the rematch of all the pay-per-view matches on the following show, because then it kind of devalues what we saw the night before, and it's kind of like, okay, why am I seeing a rematch between these two when number one, the once a month pay-per-view or whatever you want to call it is more important than Raw? So why am I seeing a watered down match on Raw that I saw the previous night on a pay-per-view? If I saw it on TLC, I don't want to see it on Raw the next night. So please, no more rehash, no more. Oh, I fight you on Sunday, but I'm gonna fight you on Monday and Thursday on SmackDown. No, like. When it's over on when it's over on Sunday, that's it, and then you put me in the match with somebody else, even if it's not a feud involved,
Yeah, I can kind of agree with that. I mean, it does devalue the. It does kind of devalue the card and whatnot. Oh, sorry. It does kind of devalue. You had a little bit of an echo, that's why I muted you. But yeah, go ahead. What was you going to say, Steven?
I was going to say that the problem I'm having is seeing rehash matches all the time. And I understand that, well, we do that because, well, it's sloppy booking, and not only that, but it's a last-minute thing, and we didn't know what else to do. It's kind of like, okay, well, if you got like 10 guys in a group making storylines, I'm sure you guys could come up with something better than a rehash of the match that we just saw the night before. Because basically I'm watching the pay-per-view all over again, but it's on a watered-down Raw, so Raw's not going to hold any prestige to it, so you know that the matches aren't going to be as good as they were on the pay-per-view. And if the pay-per-view is sucked, then Raw's even going to be worse. So then don't rehash the matches that I saw the night before. I mean, I know they did that in the Attitude Era, but you can get away with that with proper booking and proper storylines. If you don't have either one of those two right now, then the last thing on your mind should be is the rehash matches that you had the night before. If it didn't work then, it's not going to work tonight. Just kill it.
Yeah, I don't even understand why they would do that. Does that make any sense to anybody here? They take the rematches and they put them on Raw. So we're paying $9.99 a month to get what you're going to give us for free on Raw anyways. How does it make any sense whatsoever? If you're going to show the matches again the next following night, why? I meant, and I hear Dark Horse and people sit there and say, let's have a title change on Raw like you used to back in the days. Every once in a while they would change the title on Raw. And give, the fans something like that, but you don't give them a whole pay-per-view match for free on Raw.
for free on Raw.
I agree, but they should have title changes on Raw and on SmackDown, because then that way you can lose the belt at any time instead of like it being like you can only lose the belt at a pay-per-view. You know, like you can lose the belt, like hell, even if they have their Saturday night shows like they used to have, like they could have a house show and have somebody change belts. And then let's say on Monday Night Raw they're like, oh, we got breaking news. Saturday at a house show at this city at this time, so-and-so lost his title to this person. You know how cool that would be? Because now you're intrigued to keep an eye on the shows more, so that you can also see if any of the belts have been changed between a Saturday to a Monday. You know? That's my idea, you know?
I agree.
Yeah, I agree, man.
I agree, man.
But I guess is there any final thoughts or anything? I'll go ahead and let you close it up. You can go ahead and take over the position now that you're back, Stephen.
All right. Well, my final thoughts are: it doesn't make sense to give Roman Reigns and Ambrose the titles. Give them their Mania moments. I'm going to go ahead and let Robbie take over. Robbie, what do you think? What are your final thoughts on this pay-per-view?
Yeah, final thoughts. Pretty much think it's gonna be an okay show, but not a memorable one. Like I said, for like Roman Reigns, they're not gonna give him the title until Mania. They're gonna make him wait, and then I don't know if Sheamus will carry the title all the way to Mania. I almost feel like maybe they will. I would like to see Brock Lesnar get involved. I think what Paulson was saying, I think that would help out tremendously because they have been in, a three-way match or something like that at one time. Was it him and Daniel Bryan and that situation. So it's very possible if they could do something like that for Royal Rumble, that would be freaking awesome. But I don't think this pay-per-view is going to be memorable. It'll be okay. Hopefully better than SummerSlam, but we'll see.
All right, we'll go with Malik since you just.
All right. Well, like I said, this pay-per-view, like I said, it's just a stepping stone on the way to WrestleMania. It's not going to be anything spectacular or memorable. It's just a amped up version, I guess, Raw and SmackDown. It's just a stepping stone of all the storylines that we're seeing now. So I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, it's not going to be anything great. If anything, like I said, they may surprise us and leave us wanting more, or they may disappoint us again, even worse.
All right. What about you, Sam? What do you think?
Well, as far as this pay-per-view or the whole WrestleMania build-up?
This pay-per-view.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't think this pay-per-view is going to be really good. So I really don't have too much. I don't have anything in particular to say about this whole pay-per-view, really. But from the sounds of it, I don't know, man. I guess they keep building up Roman Reigns and building up his his WrestleMania moment. So I think they're gonna do that with Sheamus and all that. So Sheamus gonna win, cause the whole Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie coming out. So maybe the WWE want to capitalize on that. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna be another reason why Sheamus gonna win. But as far as the pay-per-view, I think it's gonna suck. But that's all. Pretty much all I gotta say. If I made any sense, I don't know. Nobody else got anything to say? Bearstown. Yeah. Did Bearstown get his thoughts?
So the shit's gonna suck tonight. The shit's gonna stink. It's just gonna suck for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we're good. It's gonna be boring. Oh, yeah. This just gonna suck and suck. The product's gonna. That's the end of the Eve. Hold on.
Someone's in the Christmas spirit. Jingle bell.
Jingle all the way.
I already did some shopping for the nieces and nephews, so they all leave me alone on the 25th. Get the hugs and thank you, uncles, and like, yeah. It's gonna be worth to see their smiles on Christmas morning.
Here's a little something to get you in the Christmas spirit.
Damn right.
Is everyone done?
Yeah.
It's okay. It's just gonna stink for a while.
Oh, Dark Horse just joined late though.
Well, I just got home, man, so
Oh
just
man,
working all day.
Well, we was just talking about the pay-per-view, Danielson. So I don't know. We already went through the matches and everything, so I don't know, like, if you want to go through
Who's
the matches
echoing?
real quick.
Is it mine?
Yeah, I think somebody echoed.
This is how bad it's gotten with WWE. I got the network about a month ago, right? I have not watched anything on the network in the past month except what was the last pay-per-view, Survivor Series. I mean, I haven't even watched jack shit on the network though, so I don't even know if I still have it. If I do, I guess I'll watch the pay-per-view tomorrow night. No, I don't really give a fuck about it. There's nothing that sticks out from what I heard you guys talking about that really has me thinking, yeah, I'd like to see this pay-per-view. But I don't know. I mean, just what they're doing right now with Sheamus. Yeah, I get it. The Ninja Turtle movie's coming out. They might think, oh well, we fucked up with Batista. We'll make it right with Sheamus. But I mean, Sheamus is no Batista. We can say that. I mean, it's just failing what they're doing right now. They really need to go back to the drawing board. They need to figure out something different. And, I mean, if Reigns wins the title tomorrow night, that might be something unexpected, and it would be something different. So I think they just need to end this whole thing with Sheamus already. I mean, I know it just got started, but it's fucking already old. So yeah. What do you think, Elise?
That bad, so.
I think everything they're doing has gotten old quick, and it's annoying. But it is what it is. It's not going to change. Maybe the fans walking out in South Carolina like they did, maybe that'll change something in their minds.
Actually, what I was thinking a little while ago is what if they brought in like wrestlers, to be in the creative team, or maybe of course Jim Cornette or Jim Ross or some of those guys, bring in wrestling guys that know the business, that know how to. I don't know so much would know how to write, but that know the fucking business. I mean, for the love of God, they have got to have somebody back there to train Roman Reigns how to fucking talk on the microphone. Like, go out to the ring, don't say this. Why on the fuck would they have him call Sheamus Tater Tot? Like.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, Tater Tots was the worst they've gotten. That was worse. That's almost as bad as the cartoon references they did months back, the Jack and the Beanstalk and everything, the Looney Tunes.
But, I mean, for fuck's sake, you keep bringing Steve Austin back to do a damn podcast. Bring him back to teach guys how to talk on the mic. Bring him back to teach some of the younger talents.
My dream would be to have Jim Cornette, Paul Heyman, and Bischoff hired back as writers. Thing is, all three of those guys don't like each other in some way or another, form or another, or they got a beef against each other. But Paul Heyman, for the most part, could be the most creative. I'd have him write. I'd have Jim Cornette do the writing and also booking. But as I was told before by some other people, even in real life, Jim Cornette comes from the old school mentality of wrestling, and that's what Vince doesn't want anymore. They figure that they're trying to book the new concept, but the new concepts aren't working, as we can see. But
I
Jim
think
Cornette-
what I would do at this point, or this would be a suggestion that I make, and I know that a lot of people said that this won't happen or whatever. I would bring in The Rock to like manage, maybe be kind of like a mouthpiece for Roman Reigns, and let Roman Reigns learn under his cousin. I think that would be the best way to go.
Yeah.
That's what I would do, because we know The Rock can talk.
Yep. Actually, that's a great idea.
The only thing is him getting time to do that, you know. He's got such a busy schedule, but if they could work it out, you know, that would be a great thing. I just don't know if they can get it done.
He's not. He's not showing up at this WrestleMania. The Rock ain't coming, so he ain't gonna be there. I don't know if he might be there. Maybe he's gonna cut a promo. I hope he'll be there for a promo at least. I'm pretty sure he can find at least one night for his schedule or whatever. So hopefully maybe that night that night leading up to Raw, maybe some via satellite promos where he's fucking with Roman Reigns or whatever, or he's interacting with Roman Reigns some way somehow with Titantron or however it is. You know, and then Mania, he cut a little promo with Roman Reigns or whatever. He managed him at Mania. I don't know, but apparently he's not gonna be at this Mania. So I hope he does, but apparently he isn't. So, you know, he probably is really, really busy shooting movies. You know, The Rock is a big star now. The Rock is a millionaire. The Rock is a fucking box office hit. The Rock is doing his big, baby, and that was The Rock does. And The Rock has a beautiful The Rock has another daughter coming in, so there's some more greatness coming in to the world. Thanks to The Rock, man. The Rock doing a bit, man. Dwayne Johnson, man. I hope he comes back, but apparently he's not. So I don't know.
Rock's daughter. In the match she does, what if she was the first ever men's title match? Female white chipping, yay! Because she's the Rock's daughter. We're crazy. That's crazy.
Were you saying like The Rock daughter becomes like a
you
wrestler
champion.
in the future?
What up, guys?
Well, he has an older daughter, so she might, you never know, she might pull a Charlotte. We might be seeing her in the future whenever she grew up, 20 years, 19 years. I don't know how old she is, but she's a teenager now, so maybe we'll see her one day, Bearstone. Maybe his older daughter into the business, be like on Charlotte, be the champion, The Rock, you know, be there for his baby girl, you know, like Flair is for his baby girl. So yeah.
Let me get into Charlotte for a second. If you saw that segment on The Miz with Charlotte, I think Charlotte's going to be ruined before her time, because now she was a babyface. All of a sudden, now she's turning heel, and they're not showing no reason why. It's all of a sudden she's turning heel, and Flair's by her side. See, Charlotte is living off her father. That's what I've often said, and I said in the video. And now to try to turn him heel and try to make her Flair 2.0 is a bad idea, because that promo that she cut on the Miz TV was just god awful. It wasn't even funny.
Mm-hmm.
Her father, and she never will be. The arrogant, the smirk smile, and like I said, it wasn't even entertaining. What's up, Sage Man? Like I said, it wasn't even entertaining. Charlotte Flair is just basically, becoming real fast a sham, and she doesn't know it. She figures since Flair is going to be in a corner, okay, so automatic star. Nope, not. And anybody can see it. She's not Ric Flair. She has to go in a different direction. She has to do something different.
Mm-hmm. You know, the thing is, it feels like this is kind of a bit of a problem with some of the people on the roster now. It's like there's nothing unique on the roster now. And it kind of goes to some of these second-generation stars or third-generation stars where everyone has to be just like who their father was or all that kind of stuff. They're making Charlotte more of the female version of Ric Flair, and it's like, with this match, though, with the Divas thing, it's super confusing, and it's like, how the hell who should we cheer, who should we boo? The match I don't think it's going to be all that special. Like, who's the heel, who's the face. It's like it's pretty confusing at this point, you know.
Yeah, and Paige was supposed to be the heel in this whole thing, and all of a sudden now the heat's taken off her, and now Charlotte's taking the heat right from her because when she came out and slapped before she slapped Flair, she got cheered. After all those weeks of bashing Charlotte, bashing fans, and saying all this and that, and and using Charlotte's
for some reason, the Miz in that segment turned out to be the baby face in that segment. If you really think of it,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I watched that segment twice because it was actually kind of funny.
Oh dear
but like
God!
I said, looking at Charlotte trying to be the heel just doesn't work. It worked for Paige, but see that's all scrap now. See, you see how they're hurting how the products is hurting the wrestlers. Paige was supposed to be the heel the whole time, and then all of a sudden Charlotte turns on Becky Lynch about interfering in the match, and all of a sudden now, she's learning from her father being the dirtiest player in the game. That was Flair. Let Charlotte be her own player. Unless that happens, I don't see Charlotte going very far.
They're gonna make her the dirtiest bitch in the game. That's what they're trying to do. If you really think of it.
Yeah, it's a dark horse. Sam or Paulson. What are your thoughts on Charlotte Flair's supposedly heel turn now?
What
like somebody pointing out. Oh yeah, you what?
Go ahead,
like
Sam.
somebody. Now you go, Bearstown. You can go. Bearstown. You can go. You can go.
Man, I think it would be cool. Charlotte Flair would be the Danish girl. Woo, nature girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think it's gonna be badass.
Oh, so Prodigal Dark Horse. What do y'all think about Charlotte Flair at this point?
I mean, I gave the girl a chance at first, and I mean, I thought she was pretty good, but then I don't know, man. She just can't talk. She just can't fucking talk. And like you were saying, the expressions that she does, it ruins her segments, and it ruins the like when she's trying to cut a promo, it fucking ruins it because she can't actually sell what she's doing. The fact that they're bringing Flair in and trying to use him to help get her over, I get it. It's your daughter and you want to help her, but I just don't think it's going to work. People respect Flair. They're not going. They really don't. A lot of people don't really respect Charlotte at this point, and I don't see her getting any better as far as the mic goes.
Right, yeah, see, that's what I was saying. And the thing is, you need to, I understand Flair is there, but Charlotte needs to look at it and say to herself, okay, we're going to scrap up my dad coming to the ring. I gotta do my own thing now. I got to do something else and go a different direction. Because then the fans might respond. If she were to go a different direction as a heel, not do the woo, not, and then like say on the Miz TV, they got, you got 10 minutes on Rolex time. Okay, oh hell no. Matching Rolex watches. Okay, they're not matching. One's a men's, one's a women's Rolex watch. So automatically it doesn't work. Right there. See, that was Flair's thing. What are you gonna do next? Call Charlotte kiss dealing, wheeling dealing, jet flying, son of a gun? No, that doesn't work.
Daughter of a gun.
Yeah, I don't think Charlotte works as a heel. When I look at her, see her on the WWE clips from YouTube or whatever. When I look at her, I don't see nothing. I really don't see anything special about her, really. But I guess she Ric Flair doll. In my opinion, like Danielson said, like people respect Ric Flair.
Yeah, see, that's the only thing. That's the only rub she's got.
People respect Ric Flair. They don't know.
Yeah, see, that's the only rub she's got. Living off Flair's legacy and reputation. See, she needs to create her own. That's why Flair being there and living off him is crippling her, actually.
I think that, like I said, if you want to bring interest to Charlotte, have her in a match with Lacey Von Erich, because then that would actually bring interest into a match of hers. Outside of that, I don't see her getting any interest as far as this card goes, because she hasn't done anything really to get interest. And I think that WrestleMania being in Dallas, you want to pack that stadium, bring back a Von Erich. Why not? Because that will pack that stadium. Because people do remember the Von Erichs, and they do miss the Von Erichs, and they were big. They were legends here in Texas. People don't understand how big they were. The Von Erichs were like your Hulk Hogans. They're like your Goldbergs. They're like your Stone Cold Steve Austins. Hell, they were bigger than Stone Cold Steve Austin. They were bigger than Hulk Hogan here in Texas. Everybody. Everybody. I mean, man, they were huge. They were huge in Texas. Bring back Lacey Von Erich. Get some interest in your fucking diva division because nobody's taking it seriously. They're cutting these horrible promos that you're giving them, and I'm sure it's not entirely their fault. Just like it's not entirely Roman Reigns' fault with your shitty fucking writing. Bring some fucking interest. Do something. Get that wow moment back in there. Well, you know, what? Have y'all lost your fucking brain? Did y'all get brain transplants? Did Vince McMahon get a lobotomy to sit there and put this crap on TV and to sit there and think that this is going to bring in fans and keep the
Pretty
fans?
much.
No, it's not. You need to get some wow factor. You need to get some interest. You need to get storylines. You need to get people out there talking about your product. And it's not going to happen whenever you put this shit in, day out, boring ass shit, same old thing, rehashed, and I hate to steal from Bruce Blitz, cookie cutter shit.
Yep. Pretty much. Pretty much.
One last thing. Flair has Space Mountain. So what is Charlotte going to call her? I guess her growing area. Something else?
The
Smaller
black
hole.
hole. The black hole.
Wow. Okay.
The Grand Canyon.
Oh. A foreign
The Milky Way.
The sex cannon. The sex cannon.
WWE should have learned their lesson when they brought The Rock back earlier this year at the Rumble to try to get Reigns over. You know, that kind of shit don't fucking work. But you know, they're still doing it with Flair. They're trying to use him to get Charlotte over. It's just, I don't think it's really going to work at all. So I think they're wasting their time. They need to, like I said earlier, they need to step back, like say, what can we do to fucking get people's interest in the show? Like, what they got to do something to get interest in the show. And you guys were talking earlier, and I think Polston brought up about Lesnar interfering at TLC. And actually, before you said that, I was thinking maybe The Rock, come and interfere in that match. Or if not there, have Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble or something. Have him dominating again, and maybe have Rock as number 30 come out and eliminate Roman Reigns. I think a Rock versus Roman Reigns feud would work, and it would help Roman Reigns because he would have a lot more time with The Rock, and it could actually go with what you're saying, Poston, where, except it would be backstage where The Rock can just, take him under his wing and say, hey, you need to do this. This is what you did wrong. You didn't do that right. You got to change this up. And give him just a lot of advice, and have a feud with him. But I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do that.
I think DH, I think you're making way too much common sense. You know what I mean? I think WWE doesn't want to go the common sense route. They want to go in their shitty old route. You're making way too much common sense here. Just saying, though.
Well, also they don't want their fans walking out on them, and because they haven't made any fucking sense for the past, God knows how many years.
7, 8
so
years.
they gotta do something. Something, man. Something at this point. Just do something for fuck's sake.
I wouldn't be surprised if this pay-per-view got like one of the lowest buy rates in pay-per-view history.
I'd like to see how many people unsub from the network.
Yeah, because if they can walk out on the event, they can unsub the network too. So that's kind of hitting them financially in two places.
Then it really would be the Daniel Bryan story.
Yep, because that's
See,
you gotta do. Yeah, you always in order for I think that's the only way we can have WWE listen to the fans is if we have to hit them where it hurts, and that is from our pockets. If you don't pay any money or anything for the company, man, and people start losing interest and they start walking away from the arenas and shit, and they start losing money, I think that's probably the only time they're gonna start listening to us. Fortunately,
Well, anyways, I think I'm going to try to wrap this up. I think that this has been going on for almost 2.5 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and try to wrap it up. Yeah, because I started this at about 5 o'clock, man. We've already went through the pay-per-view and whatnot, and like some people have already left. But you guys, you tell us what y'all think about this pay-per-view. What do you think about this company? Hell, y'all like The links to these channels will be in the description. Go ahead and hit them up. And y'all like, sub, do the shit that YouTube tells us to do to get over. And for now, I'm out.